And we back. Hey, today we checking out Dolph car collection, y'all. Let's go.
His fans are remembering him is by wrapping their own cars in camo, something young Dolph was notorious for. Young Dolph had a truly incredible car collection that was worth around $3 million. Interested in seeing young Dolph's insane collection of vehicles that probably cost more than your life? Keep watching till the end of this video to see inside young Dolph's $3 million car collection. Trust me, you don't want to miss this. G-Wagon. Dolph's G-Wagon was apparently the first car that he wrapped completely in camo. This turned an already gorgeous car into something that looked out of this world. Before modifications, this beast could easily set you back $150K. But with Dolph's signature camo wrap along with some other modifications he may have made, his G-Wagon sits firmly in the $175,000 to $200,000 price range. At this point, almost every celebrity around drives a G-Wagon. However, young Dolph just put that extra touch into his G-Wagon that made it different from the rest. He clearly used his car a lot, considering over $500,000 worth of luxury goods were once stolen from this very G-Wagon in 2019 after he left it unlocked. 2018 Demon SRT. Dolph's Demon SRT was one of the cars he loved taking out the most for a spin. After all, why wouldn't he? The Demon SRT is already one of the most badass cars in the world, but when you wrap it with camo in the same way Dolph had, you basically have the coolest car you can imagine. While the price of the Demon SRT starts at around $85K, Dolph's Demon might be closer to around $100K due to the internal and external modifications. Bentley Continental GT. If you were a fan,
what if recording high-quality content, editing like a pro, and streaming like a star?
Let's get these sponsors out the way, y'all. Pay these bills. We back.
Fan of Dolph's music videos, then odds are you've probably already seen this Bentley. This is the same Bentley that Dolph used in his music videos for Major, appearing at around the 130 mark of the video. Dolph's variant seems to be the Bentley Continental GT. If you had the W12 convertible version of that car like young Dolph did,
I ain't gonna lie. That video was hard. It's the one Dolph had the white girl in. Yo, hit the like button.
probably be out $250,000 at the least. Now add Dolph's modifications, that's an extra $25K at the minimum. This was really the kind of car that gets people talking and turning their heads. A Bentley is pretty boring and standard as far as super expensive luxury automobiles go, but young Dolph managed to turn it into something fitting for a rapper such as himself. Rolls-Royce Phantom EWB. The Bentley isn't the only status symbol that young Dolph showed off in his music videos and wrapped in camo. Dolph was also the proud owner of a Rolls-Royce Phantom EWB, which, as we already mentioned, was fully wrapped in camo.
And shout out to Dolph's son, man. This young man got an insane car collection. I know them cars they put up, they ain't went nowhere. Ain't nobody get the cars. Trey. Man, that boy got a collection, I tell you. Shout out to Trey Dolph's son.
This was one of young Dolph's most expensive cars, starting at around $500,000. You know that the modifications for this car were pretty expensive as well, and getting a wrap around a car like this would set him back at least $20K. Dolph also owned a Rolls-Royce SUV on top of his Phantom. The regular SUV costs around $350K, but if we take Dolph's word for it, he claimed to have spent $440K on the modifications alone on his Facebook page. While that might sound ridiculous, we wouldn't put it past Dolph to spend that much on something like a Phantom EWB. But believe it or not, this is still not the most expensive car he owned. To see what car that was, make sure to keep watching until the end of the video. Lamborghini S Aventador. The Lamborghini S Aventador was one of Dolph's signature cars for a long time. I mean, who wouldn't be amazed by a beast like this one? It was one of the first sports cars that young Dolph got after he got big in the rap scene, and as a way of giving back to his fans, it was also the first car that he gave away to a young fan. He started a contest in which a lucky fan that bought his merch online would win his Lamborghini S Aventador, which was valued at around $500K. When the winner was announced, Dolph drove the car to her house himself and recorded her reaction. It was a touching moment between fan and artist, and proof of just how much Dolph appreciated his fans. Mercedes-Benz Maybach. Yes, you heard that right. Young Dolph was also the owner of the incredible Mercedes-Benz Maybach truck. The Maybach series is Mercedes-Benz's most premium offering, and the Maybach truck might just be the most luxurious of them all. Funny story behind this, Dolph wasn't actually able to take this truck to his mansion since it was just too big and the neighbors there were complaining. So he did something any rapper that's true to his roots would do and brought it back to his hood. The Maybach truck costs around $160K before any modifications. It's unclear whether young Dolph pimped out his truck the same way he did with the rest of his cars, but it's a safe bet to assume he did. Considering the fact that Dolph had an entire song called Benz, we think it's safe to assume that the rapper was a huge fan of this car in particular. Trackhawk. The Jeep Grand Cherokee is one of the most iconic American cars in history. And who better to drive one of these than someone like young Dolph? Dolph owned the Trackhawk edition of the Jeep Grand Cherokee, and let's just say this thing was an absolute monster. The Trackhawk starts at around $87,650, but with the modifications that Dolph added to this luxury SUV, it's safe to assume that his Trackhawk cost well over $100K. It probably cost way more than that, but we're just being on the safe side here. Ferrari 488. One of the cars that young Dolph loved showing off the most in his music videos or on Instagram was his gorgeous Ferrari 488. This car had a price of almost $600,000 before it was packed with all sorts of crazy modifications. We're not even going to begin to estimate how much wrapping a car like this would cost, but you can safely assume that it's in the tens of thousands. Not bad for a guy who started from basically nothing. The 488 doesn't have a price like that for no reason. It's generally considered one of the most powerful street-legal cars out there. This is a car with a 661 horsepower, twin-turbo 3.9L V8 engine that allows it to go 0 to 60 in just 3 seconds. It's no wonder that this is the most expensive car he owned. Corvette C8. The Corvette C8 that young Dolph owned was probably his favorite car out of them all. This was a beautiful sports car that was wrapped completely in his signature camo. It wasn't that expensive when compared to some of his other cars either, starting at around $70,000 after taxes, which is probably why he drove it around so much more than some of his other cars. Unfortunately, this was also the car in which his fatal shooting incident happened. He had just driven this car to a nearby bakery to pick up cookies for his mother, and as he was about to enter his car again, he was shot at by 2 men in a white Mercedes, killing him. He never even truly left his hood just because he wanted to represent his roots. Young Dolph is a once-in-a-lifetime rapper, and we will all miss him and his incredible taste in cars dearly. So what did you think of Dolph's car collection? Do you think the modifications fit his persona well? Would you like to drive one of these cars yourself? Let us know in the comments below. That's the end of today's video. If you enjoyed the video, hit the like button and comment down below. Also, don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell if you're new to the channel to be notified when we upload more content. Thanks.
Wow.